She purposely enters the house because they underestimate her. Welcome to Recaps of Aura. The movie opens with a German family on vacation in France. They get caught in the middle of some riots. The family consists of a couple, John and Esther, and their 2 children, a son named Philip and a daughter named Alba. The children are scared that something might happen to them, but John assures them that the car's windows are bulletproof, so they will be safe. Philip, who loves to film everything, begins to record the riot. Eventually, they arrive at their large bungalow. The gate is automated, and there's a huge swimming pool inside. As soon as they get there, John and the children jump in the water. Esther is afraid of water, so she stays out. The scene then shifts to another large house in the same town. We see 2 or 3 girls in what looks like hotel uniforms, but what they are doing in this big house is not yet revealed. A boy secretly puts something into a bottle of wine. He then leaves and peeks into the rich family's house next door. He calls a companion named Teodora and asks her what she thinks of rich people. His other friends also arrive. Teodora says that these people are rich, but they would be better off if they were much wealthier. From there, they go to a hotel where they work. John and Esther's family is sitting at a table. Alba performs a card trick, asking her family to choose one of 3 cards. Without looking, she tells them which card they picked. Esther is amazed and asks how she did it, but Alba refuses to share her secret. Then, Esther gets a call from her office. They had agreed not to take work calls during vacation, but this one seems important, so Esther goes to the bathroom to take it. Just then, Teodora comes in with a tray of fresh towels. Esther quickly grabs one from the tray to wash her hands, without even asking Teodora's permission. After washing her hands, she tosses the used towel back onto Teodora's tray and leaves. It seems she doesn't consider Teodora as a person, but just an object to serve her. Esther goes back to enjoying her phone call. After dinner, a waitress offers the family a free drink from the hotel. John and Esther each decide to have a drink. Meanwhile, Teodora stares at her reflection in the mirror for a while, then quickly finishes her work and leaves on her bike. We don't know what she said to the waitress. After finishing their drinks, Esther's family gets in their car and drives back to the bungalow. On the way, Teodora's friends are waiting for her. She asks one of her companions to make a cut on her hand with a knife. When asked if it hurts, she replies that she can't feel pain or she won't be able to do her job. The scene returns to John, who is driving with Esther in the passenger seat. He's enjoying the breeze. For a second, his attention drifts while talking to Esther, and it looks like he hit someone. A girl is lying on the side of the road. The couple is terrified they may have hit her. John immediately gets out of the car to check on her, and Esther follows. This girl is Teodora. We know it's her because we are not rich like this family. We notice the people around us. But to this family, the people who serve them are not memorable. They don't remember who served them at the hotel or who changed the towels in the bathroom. They only see people who are on their same social level as humans. Likewise, they don't remember the faces of the people who served them in the hotel, nor do they try to know their names. So Esther doesn't even realize that the girl lying on the road is Teodora, the same person from whom she took the towel. Teodora has an injury on her hand. The family believes the car's side mirror is what hit her. John asks if they should take her to the hospital, but Esther quickly says no. She claims a hospital visit would lead to too many questions and that it's just a small cut. Esther puts a bandage on Teodora's hand to try and resolve the situation, but John feels uneasy about it. Esther then suggests Teodora rest at their bungalow. Teodora is hesitant, asking to be taken to the hospital instead, as she doesn't know them. But Esther insists, and Teodora finally agrees to go with them. At the bungalow, they clean and bandage Teodora's wound. Esther leaves $300 for her in the guest room and leaves. Meanwhile, John is washing blood from the car seat. He tells Esther not to tell her father about the accident, because he doesn't want to hear insults about being a useless son-in-law. Esther promises to keep it a secret. The next morning, before sunrise, Teodora is already awake and swimming in the pool, despite her wound. She doesn't seem worried about infection. A man comes by and picks up her bandage, which she has thrown on the ground, and throws it away like trash. Later, Esther goes to the guest room and finds that Teodora and the $300 are gone. She tells John it was a good idea to bring her home and I cleverly gave her $300, and we saved ourselves from a compensation lawsuit of at least $100,000. And you could have lost your license for drunk driving. Esther is proud of herself, but John still feels that what they did was wrong. John and Esther get busy with their own tasks, but then the doorbell rings. It's Teodora. John gets worried, thinking the problem he thought was solved has returned. He acts like he doesn't remember her right away, but then opens the door. He's afraid she's going to ask for more money. Instead, Teodora says she was late for work and her boss fired her. She asks if she can work for them for a month to earn money for her college fees. This is her next trap. John says they already have a housekeeper, but Teodora says she can cook well too and is willing to work for the same salary. Esther quickly decides to hire her, happy to get a cook and cleaner for the price of one. She fires their old housekeeper, saying she came on vacation to relax, not to cook. Teodora begins to make friends with the children. She gives Alba a cigarette and tells her not to smoke inside. Philip takes Alba to the balcony, and Teodora takes out her lighter and keeps flicking it on and off. Alba notices this and becomes interested in the lighter. That night, John comes downstairs and finds a small, injured animal. He's not sure what happened to it. Teodora comes up behind him with a metal rod. It seems she's going to hit him, but she hands him the rod instead. She says the animal is suffering and that he should use the rod to put it out of its misery. John has never done anything like this before. Teodora tells him that sometimes you have to do what's right, even if it's hard. John buries the animal in a small grave. Then, after a lot of thought, he attacks the animal with the rod and kills it. He turns around, and Teodora is gone. The next morning, Alba is swimming in the pool. Teodora is now working in the house. She leaves her lighter on Alba's desk, remembering how interested she was in it. When she sees John and Philip enjoying a bike ride, she starts vacuuming the house. But Esther quickly grabs the vacuum, saying the noise gives her a headache and raises her blood pressure. She tells Teodora to only use the vacuum when she's not home. Alba, who usually draws, puts her pen down and starts playing with the lighter Teodora left for her. Teodora and Alba slowly become good friends. One day, Alba touches Teodora's hand and asks how her wound is healing. Teodora looks at her strangely, as if something is not right. The next day, the family goes to the market to buy alcohol. Teodora's 4 friends are there, talking to each other. As the family approaches, Philip's mom asks him for a lighter, knowing he doesn't have one. From behind, Teodora gives him the lighter. The scene shifts and we see the camera shows a close-up of Teodora's friends, and we realize the third girl is the waitress who offered John and Esther free drinks at the hotel. We now understand why the family didn't want to go to the hospital after the accident. The free drinks meant they were driving while under the influence. Later, at the supermarket, John, Philip, and Teodora watch a TV news report stating that the riots have gotten so bad the police can't handle other cases. A man who knows John comes over, and they share a drink. John offers Philip a drink, but he refuses and sits with Teodora. Seeing John's actions, Teodora laughs, and Philip, seeing her laugh, starts to laugh as well. This shows that Philip treats Teodora with respect and sees her as an equal. He even learns new skills from her, like how to dry and fix clothes. Unlike his mother, he doesn't see Teodora's work as insignificant or ignore her efforts. Back at the house, Teodora is in the kitchen cutting meat. When no one is looking, she takes large raw pieces of meat and starts to eat them, which is a shocking sight. Meanwhile, John is sprinkling a special powder around the house for a guest who is arriving. John is a scientist working on a new research paper. His guest is a good friend who arrives with his wife. They all have dinner together. The friend's wife notices John's wedding ring, which has the date of his and Esther's marriage engraved on it. She pretends to try and return it, but won't give it back. They seem to be flirting. When Teodora comes to clear the plates, the friend's wife asks her why she is clearing them from the left side instead of the usual right side. Esther interrupts, saying it doesn't matter and that she is doing her job. The friend's wife then puts a very heavy bowl on top of Teodora's stack of plates, without even asking if she can carry it. Esther asks John's friend when his research papers will be published. He says there's a small issue, which makes John a little nervous. But his friend reassures him that these are just small misunderstandings and everything will be fine. That night, Esther brings up the research paper again, and John tells her it's a patent issue. When she asks for more details, he quickly stops her. The next day, everyone goes out on a boat and has a great time. Philip films not only himself but also Teodora, asking her to pose for the camera. He doesn't see her as a low-ranking housekeeper. They all go to the beach. Everyone goes in the water, but Esther stays on the shore and tells Teodora she is afraid of the water. Esther then walks away to take a work call. A boy comes to pick up a ball that has rolled to her feet and says sorry. It's one of Teodora's friends, but Esther, distracted by her call, doesn't notice him. After her call, Esther comes back and lies down, closing her eyes. Teodora quietly takes Esther's phone from her bag. Alba sees this happen, but we don't know if Teodora saw her. The family decides to go home, and Esther realizes her phone is missing. She insists on buying the newest, most expensive model right away. John can't argue with her. Teodora says she knows a shop that has all the new phones, and she takes Esther there on the boat. Esther enjoys the ride, but she thinks Teodora's actions seem cheap. As Esther talks on her new phone, she sees Teodora dancing and asks her to smoke with her. While smoking, Esther asks Teodora what it's like when life doesn't go as planned, then dismisses the question, implying that Teodora's life isn't as meaningful. That night, Esther takes sleeping pills. Philip watches the video he took of Teodora. A few nights later, John tries to be intimate, but Esther says she's too tired from the sleeping pills. The next morning, Teodora impresses John with information about his bike, and they go for a ride. She seems to be trying to seduce him. Later, Teodora tells Esther to relax and live freely. Esther sees Philip and Teodora taking selfies, but says nothing is wrong when John asks. Alba tells Esther that Teodora stole her phone, but Esther doesn't believe her, laughing and calling Alba possessive. Teodora purposely makes her wound worse. Esther, concerned, puts a bandage on it and invites Teodora to dinner outside. That night, Esther and Teodora go to a restaurant. John is at home worried. Teodora takes Esther to a bar and introduces her to her friends. A young man flirts with Esther, and she is surprised by the attention. They dance and get close. He encourages her to get in the water, and she does, feeling free and relaxed for the first time. Afterward, Esther asks the waitress where her friend Amber is. The waitress doesn't know, but Esther notices Amber's belongings on the ground. Teodora and Esther become closer, with Teodora telling her there are more adventures to come. Meanwhile, Alba catches a frog and puts it in a jar. John hears strange noises on the roof. One day, John's worried friend asks Alba to tell her dad to call him. Then we see John and Teodora get very close, and John tells her his life is falling apart. Meanwhile, Esther gets irritated and tells Alba to stop lying when Alba says she saw Teodora hide Esther's underwear. Teodora then hides Esther's stolen phone under Alba's bed and tells Esther she found it there, making Esther think Alba stole it. Esther is now worried and tells John, which leads to a big argument. John finally reveals he was fired because his research was wrong and that no one cares about what he's going through. He leaves, heartbroken. Teodora gives Esther a poem from her new boyfriend, one of Teodora's friends. The poem makes Esther happy and she feels shy. The family is now separated by their problems. Alba feels alone, Philip is busy on his phone, and the parents are fighting. Esther decides to meet her new boyfriend, telling the kids she's just taking a break. Teodora, now a part of the family, is eating with them. John's friend's wife gets a message from Esther saying she'll be gone for a few days and to take care of the kids. Alba is completely alone. John's affair with his friend's wife begins. Esther is having fun with her new boyfriend, while Teodora takes care of Alba, telling her bedtime stories. Philip is very interested in Teodora and is always taking her photos, but then gets nervous when he realizes he took a picture of her in a compromising position. Teodora calls him back, but he runs away. Esther moves in with her new boyfriend. She opens the fridge to find raw meat. The boyfriend says it's fine, but she tells him to freeze it. At home, Teodora invites all her friends to the swimming pool without John's permission. John gets angry, but Teodora invites him to a party. He refuses. Alba starts playing with Teodora's lighter, which scares John. He snatches it, and Alba starts to avoid him. Esther goes to the party with her boyfriend and talks to a man who mentions Teodora. Esther realizes he knows Teodora and her boyfriend because they all work at the same hotel she visited earlier. She feels like she's part of a plan and that everyone is looking at her strangely. She tries to call her family, but no one answers, so she leaves a voicemail saying she wants to come home. She tries to get away from her boyfriend and locks herself in the bathroom. When she turns on the tap to wash her face, blood comes out instead of water. Esther runs from the bathroom, but when she opens the door, she finds herself in another room where a woman is killing a man by biting him. Teodora is at the exit and pulls Esther back inside, showing her true colors. Esther asks Teodora what's going on, and Teodora says, "You people always underestimate us. If we decide to kill you, the 1%, it won't be hard." Everyone stares at Esther. Her new boyfriend then bites her neck, and everyone else bites her too. The scene shifts to John, who hears noises from above at night. He goes downstairs and finds Teodora and her friends swimming in the pool. He angrily tells them to leave and to ask for his permission next time. Teodora agrees and promises the pool will be clean in the morning. John's friend's wife, who is in bed with him, gets upset and says she will make them all leave. John decides to go up to the roof to check on the noises. Below, Teodora and her friends enter the house with metal rods. Blood splatters from above, suggesting they killed John. We don't know what happened to Alba. A while later, Philip returns home. He finds Teodora and her friends sleeping near the pool. He sees Alba sleeping next to Teodora, so he doesn't wake her. Inside the house, he gets hungry and takes a piece of meat from the fridge. Teodora and her friends wake up and leave on their bikes. Philip cooks the meat in the oven. He eats a few bites but then finds something hard in the last piece. He spits it out, and it's his mother's wedding ring. The movie ends with Teodora's gang, now with a sixth member, a small person sitting behind her on the bike. It's Alba.